Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a little dive into r/Am I the Porthole? Yay! I'm Void. I like to read you weird stuff I find on Reddit, and it's a great time. So you should definitely stick around. Anyway, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay, first post posted by Throwaway External. Am I the Porthole for ending a relationship over long showers? I don't think I'm the porthole, but my aunt and mum got in my head over the holidays and now I'm questioning myself. Until early November, I, 28F, was in a long-term relationship with Kevin, 30M. We've had our fill of Kevins lately, haven't we? Oh my goodness. We were together for about 18 months. He was planning to move in with me at the end of November when his lease was up. I own my own place, whereas he had a roommate who was recently engaged. Seemed like good timing all round. Kevin was generally a good guy, funny, charming, easygoing. I thought I was in love. But a few weeks before he was supposed to move in, he made a weird offhand comment about my evening shower habits. What are you doing in there, OP? Now look, I know some people will find this crazy, but it's not as crazy as it seems. I have a glorious steam shower with a comfy bench. Jealous? Can I come and have a shower at your place? I promise this is not a weird request. I take long-ass steams before bed, usually 15 minutes to steam, 5 to 10 minutes with the water on and off to shower and wash my hair, and another 5 or so for skincare. I'm not hogging the only bathroom or the hot water, and I only do it after everything else is done for the day, work, chores and sex. Anyway, the comment was that I would have to knock off things like that when I was living with him, which, why? He said I was wasting time and needed to be more present when I lived with a man. What the f? Yeah, what the f indeed. Mate, I take 20 minutes just to do my whole teeth cleaning routine. He thinks a 20-minute shower's bad. Oh, he would hate me. It's 30 to 40 minutes. I can't have 30 to 40 minutes to myself. Yes, you can, and apparently I also cannot count because, yeah, that is more like 30 to 40 minutes, but still, that's nothing. Nothing. This led to a longer argument about the various things about myself and life that I would need to change before he would move in. Like I was doing him a favour letting him live with me rent-free. No, that's where you've messed up already. Don't let him move in with you rent-free, OP. Goodness me. Many things themselves weren't terrible. Put my various skincare things away rather than leaving them on the shelf. Fair. Okay, if you say so. Don't leave so many shoes in the mudroom. They're on a rack, but whatever. Stop the composting service. He wants to do it. Okay, that one's fair enough, but the other two just seem weirdly controlling for no reason. But a few were non-starters. Don't have my brother, 17, and his friends over unsupervised, meaning by him, and don't volunteer at a local shelter that houses men. Yikes on several bikes, OP? It was wild. He had never shown any indication of being controlling before, so I tried to talk to him about what he was thinking. He just said that moving in meant that I was his and needed to act like it. There's some red flags wafting in the wind. Paraphrasing. It doesn't matter if you're paraphrasing. That is not good. I said, then we weren't moving in together as I am not anyone's less articulate than that, and asked him to leave. We had another conversation a day or so later, but neither of us budged, so we mutually broke it off. I was sad, but not devastated. Mostly completely confused and questioning my ability to see any red flags. There had to be some, right? I thought I made the right choice. My friends think I made the right choice. My baby brother also thinks I made the right choice. He may be influenced by my 3D printer. But my mum and aunt think I made a huge mistake. It's been a solid 2 weeks of, you're gonna die alone, you're selfish, you have to compromise in relationships, you can't expect him to put up with your single girl schedules and habits. Ah, yes, that single girl urge to take a normal shower. He was such a catch. I feel like my head is going to explode. Right, let's just circle back real quick and double check how old the OP is. 28. I mean, don't worry, mother and aunt. I think that the OP has plenty of time to, figure stuff out and not die alone. I thought my mum would at least care that he was cutting off free brother sitting when they travel, but no. She thinks my ex was right, that my brother and his friends shouldn't be in the house with a single woman at their age. It's your brother. What on earth do they think's going to happen? And also, do they think that the OP is some sort of PDF file or something? Because they are 17 and the OP is 28. I babysat most of them when they were younger, for Christ's sakes. Am I really unreasonable here? I'm driving myself nuts. We are not getting back together, but was I an asshole? No, I am just baffled. It sounds to me like your mum and your aunt are the types to basically let their partner tell them everything that they can and can't do. And you know what it is? Misery loves company. So... Okay, so then the OP says, I'm having dinner with my dad in an hour. I will ask, I promise. I'm not sure what the rules on updates are on this sub, so I will post my update with my dad's reasons here. I'm assuming people in the comments were like, what does your dad think about this? So Important Zombie says, aren't you lucky he showed his true colours before he moved in? Exactly. And then Rugby Angel 9525 says, dear God, she dodged a bullet. Not the butthole. PSA, you can leave a relationship at any time for any reason. It was definitely the right choice. And like the OP second guessing, like, how did I miss the red flags? People like that often hide the red flags until they think they've got you where they want you. So it's not an oversight on the person's part normally. It's actually that they're just really frigging good at hiding it. So then we have this update. TLDR, I posted about my mum and aunt making Christmas miserable because I broke up with my boyfriend when he started an argument about my showers that snowballed into more weird controlling requirements. Okay, I found where the dad said that he hated, well, where the OP referenced the dad hating the ex. It was in reply to basically just a comment saying your mum and your aunt suck. And then the OP basically saying that the ex did roll his eyes at some of their hobbies, activities, but I thought it was good natured, like how I make fun of my best friend's shoe hoarding. I love her for that, but we'll rib her about it. Apparently his wasn't good-natured. My dad hated him, which I should talk to him about to see if he saw something I ignored. Right, cool, got it, because that was going to annoy me. A bunch asked me why my dad didn't like the ex and what red flags he saw. I asked, and here's what he said. Fair warning, my dad is great, but he has opinions. I don't agree that all of these are red flags, but I'm sure Redditors will school me on it. Yes, they bloody will. They love to do that. 1. Didn't take a job that my dad offered. Ex lost his business about 6 months ago, which left him with a mountain of debt, and my dad offered him a job in his warehouse to cover expenses while he was looking. Ex had a job within 6 weeks, so he wasn't unemployed for long, and I personally think it's fine to take a beat when something big happens in life. But my dad is of the you can rest when your bills are paid and chores are done school. 2. Would sit on the porch on his phone when I was struggling on a hobby project. Again, I don't think this one is fair. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to have someone give you a hand with stuff, but they weren't his projects. 3. Didn't carry in groceries. Now, this one I kind of agree with. In retrospect, it was pretty weird that I was lugging the groceries in by myself in 2 or 3 trips. I don't know if my brain ever would have noticed it as a red flag, though. I mean, I feel it probably is a bit of a red flag, actually, because it just shows that he's just a bit of a lazy shit, if nothing else, to be honest. 4. There were other little things around home maintenance. Waited for my brother to shovel the drive, didn't mow, put a whole box in the recycling without breaking it down. And car maintenance. Didn't put up my wipers before a storm or pump my gas. but it wasn't his house or his car. So I feel like those things go in the nice to have, but not fair to criticise bucket. Sure, my dad would do those things for a neighbour, much less a romantic partner, but that's him. No, most people would help with stuff like that if they are able and they have the time. It just shows a repeated pattern of the OP's ex basically just being like, ugh, you do whatever you want and I'm going to do my thing and you're going to like it. You are my skivvy, basically. Anyway, those are the things that my dad pointed to. Some clarifying points from the last post. First, steam showers don't use a ton of water. It's like 2 gallons for the steam for the whole 40 minutes. That's basically 90 seconds of shower for most people. And because it's toasty in there, you only turn on the shower head when you need it to rinse or shave. Second, my mum isn't a boomer. She's 46. She wasn't always like this, but she and my aunt have gone down some rabbit hole the last few years. Yeah, I bet we can all guess what rabbit hole that is. Third, my brother and his friends, not all boys by the way, will always be welcome in my home, period. If that means I live alone, fine. Finally, do not worry, there is and was no chance I would take him back. He creeped me right out in our last few conversations. I might worry about whether I handled things wrong or should approach things differently next time, but I am not staying with someone who feels like me taking 40 minutes for myself, absent of kids or extenuating circumstances, after a long day at work is a bad thing. If that makes me a butthole, fine, I'll accept the label. Thank you for making me feel less crazy yesterday. Yeah, I mean, if someone's got a problem with you taking a shower, there is an issue, a big one. So then down in the comments, someone left this comment. Apparently I cut the username off and I'm now annoyed because I don't know who left it. No, your dad's list is on point, and let me explain. 1. Extra cash is extra cash, especially when you don't have work. If anything would go down, he would sit on his ass and live off you. Exactly, I think the proof's in the pudding in the way that the OP was like, oh yeah, he was going to be living with me for free, and he's complaining. I'm sorry, for free? He should be contributing to all of the bills if he's living with you. 2. Simply asking to help is a huge sign that he cares and is involved with you. No one who cares for other persons lets them struggle, even if it's with something so small like hobbies. 3. Again, caring for other persons' well-being and sharing daily burden. My husband would never let me carry groceries alone. When he was really bad with cellulitis, he drives, I don't, and we had to make quick runs to the shop despite using crutches, he fought me to carry at least 2 bags. Not because of his manliness or some shit, but because he cares. 4. Again, caring. Wanting to make your partner's life as easy as possible, being involved and proactive. When I started dating my husband, I needed someone to move my stuff to student accommodation. Not only did he carry all my stuff home to car, then car to my ensuite, which was on the 4th floor, he also made a quick look around and fixed leaking taps, sorted my fire alarm. He found that there were no batteries inside and unclogged my toilet. Guys don't have to be DIY king like my hubby, don't get me wrong, but caring guy would either take care of issues himself or find someone who will. It's not a matter of your house, my house, it's a matter of being loving, caring, and involved partner. Yeah, exactly. No hate girl, but maybe think about what you should be looking for in your partner. Exactly. Couldn't say it better myself. Next post posted by What the F I'm Drunk. Would I be the butthole for asking my wife to end a friendship that is clearly toxic to our marriage? This is dicey territory, this one. I'll try to be succinct. I apologise in advance for all errors. Yesterday, I had a funeral to attend. It was a little more than 3 hours away. When returning, I was going through the small town where my wife and I went to college, as did my brother and sister. My sister still lives in the college town, so on the way back, I text her and asked her if she wants me to take her for lunch. Probably need to point out that my little sister is 8 years younger and looks nothing like her 4 brothers. She is 5 foot tall, tiny, and a youthful look. The rest of us are over 6 foot, healthy. So I just left a funeral for and wanted a drink. Sister couldn't because how close we were to her office, but did sneak a sip or two of mine when the coast was clear. After I hugged Sister goodbye and jumped in the truck to get on a conference call for the rest of the trip. That's the background. Damn, this can't be short. That was really hard to read, mate. I'm not gonna lie. About 30 minutes from home, I'm on the call in the truck and get a text from my wife saying, "Holy crap, Karen is here and it's crazy. Call when you can." Karen is a close friend of my wife for many years. I've never had issues with Karen, but it's my wife's friends and not mine. So we are not real close. She also lives in our old college town. You can see where this is going, right? Yep, I can. My call ends a few miles from home, so I don't call, just go home. When I get home, Karen is trying to convince my wife that I have a girlfriend in our college town. She is trying to get her to leave the house and take our 15 and 13-year-old daughters with her. Apparently, she saw me eating lunch with my sister and thought it was a girlfriend. Ah, yes, making a massive stink in front of 2 teenage girls, accusing someone of cheating when you haven't even gotten the story yet. My wife said she was talking a mile a minute and wouldn't let her get a word in, calling me names and making wild accusations. Just before I walk in, she finally asked if it was my sister I had lunch with, and then started to calm things down. When she realised she freaked out over nothing, she left right after I got home. My wife then told me about the things that she was saying, and it was obvious that Karen hates me and wants my wife to leave me. Details will take too long, but it was many easy refuted accusations that made no sense to my wife. My issue is she did all the accusations in front of my girls, and that is completely unacceptable. My wife is very upset with her friend, and I'm mad as hell. She apparently hates me, and that can't be tolerated for someone so close to my wife. If more details are needed, I'll happily provide. Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely understand wanting to stick up for your friend and be like, "Hey, love, I think your fella was out for food with some random woman. You might want to look into that." And like doing it really quietly and out of earshot of the kids, fair enough, because you're looking out for your mate, aren't you, at the end of the day? However, making a massive stink like that, trying to drag your friend and her daughters out over something that you haven't even confirmed yet is crazy work. Crazy work. Update real quick, and I'm out on this. At dinner tonight, I asked what we thought about Karen. Oldest daughter immediately said that she wants nothing to do with her. Other daughter and wife agreed. I obviously did too. After the girls went upstairs, my wife said that she will figure out how to cut her out. She still doesn't understand where the insane vitriol for me came from. It was the fact that she did this so loudly and insistently in front of the girls that my wife is angered about. So Karen is out and I'm happy and didn't have to do anything really. I love my wife and my girls. They are all amazingly smart and mature. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would always err on the side of caution of not being like, hey, you cannot be friends with this person. But I tell you what, after that massive song and dance, if that happened in front of my kids, I'd be like, you want to be friends with that person? You keep them away from this house, you keep them away from my kids, and you keep them away from me. And that's that, you know, because I would never want to be the sort of person that goes, you are not allowed to be friends with someone. Unless it was like extreme. But yeah, because that's very dicey territory, isn't it, really? But I can also understand at the same time. Just for me, I wouldn't want to be the sort of person that's like, yeah, you're not allowed to be friends with them anymore, you know? But I'm glad that the wife came to the right conclusion anyway. So down in the comments, No Secret 4560 says, it would shock me if your wife would want to continue a friendship with a woman who acts like that. And then the OP replies saying, she doesn't know what to do right now. We are both still in shock of the things that she said. I know ultimatums are never good, but I can't express how mad I am at the things that she said in front of my girls. And I'm going to assume that that was posted before the wife decided. And then Plaid Chair Style says, not an ultimatum, reason, but you can make a boundary. I cannot tell you who to spend time with, but I choose not to spend time with Karen, and I will not attend events with Karen. I don't want Karen in our house or around our girls. Exactly. That is exactly how I would do it too. Because you can't literally tell another human being, an adult human being, who they can and can't be friends with, but you can say, right, if you want to be friends with them, just don't fucking bring them around me and don't bring them around my kids or the house. Next post, posted by No Negotiation 3951. Am I the butthole for keeping my reception venue when I couldn't get a refund? My fiancé cheated on me, and I found out about 6 weeks ago. I called off our wedding. Sorry to be so matter-of-fact about it, but I'm still not okay. I managed to get partial refunds on almost everything. The photographer only kept $200 of our deposit. Our church doesn't charge members for using it for weddings, but they also did not allow alcohol in their reception hall, so we booked that separately. The venue had a strict policy of not giving back any money without 3 months' notice. Since I only gave a month and a half and had paid in full, I was getting nothing back. I was pissed. Yeah, I bet. My brother actually came up with a plan. We held a party with a Mario Kart tournament. We had a huge screen and projector. I knew I had a bunch of friends with that night free, so we did that instead. 20 and 30 something idiots playing a children's game for bragging rights. We had a blast. I felt like I was in college again. I had sent my ex her part of every deposit, but obviously nothing for the venue. I have not heard from her, but the venue wanted me to release the date. I said I would if they gave me a refund. They refused, so I refused. Since we got catering separately, I didn't even need to tip the staff. Now I am hearing I screwed over the venue and staff by taking up room that they could have rented to a different event. Some people are saying that I kept someone from having a beautiful wedding there. I don't care. I don't owe the venue an opportunity to be paid twice. I honestly would have accepted it if they kept our 30% deposit, but they kept the whole thing. We didn't leave a mess, so they probably saved on janitorial services. Was I the asshole? No, you paid for it. So you used it. Simple as that. The venue is being shitty because if they could have filled that space, they could have at least, like the OP said, given back the rest of the money and kept the 30% deposit. But no, they wanted to be greedy, so it's tough. They got the pay for the venue. They just didn't get the tip out of the staff, which, again, tough. So, down in the comments, Puzzle-Headed Tap 4484 says, sounds like they kept someone from having a beautiful wedding there, not the butthole. You played by their rules and they're mad that they couldn't get double paid. And then Sugar Kowalzix, I think. And who plans a wedding with a venue like that in 6 weeks? The venue f***ed their staff over. The venue did not get f***ed over. Not the butthole. The venue manager is. Okay, I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Don't forget to leave a comment for pleasing Big Al. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.